a man who grew up sleeping on cardboard boxes in Manila, who sold donuts and cleaned gyms just to survive, climbed to the top of boxing, and won world titles in 8 weight divisions. Manny Pacquiao made hundreds of millions of dollars, became a national hero, entered politics, and then watched as lawsuits, tax problems, broken contracts, failed campaigns, and personal demons chipped away at nearly everything he built. So let's look at how the most celebrated fighter in the Philippines ended up fighting battles he could never win with his fists. There is a specific kind of poverty that shapes a person down to the bone. Not the kind where you skip a vacation or drive a used car. The kind where your father kills the family dog because there is no food left in the house. Emmanuel Dapadran Pacquiao was born on December 17, 1978 in Cubao, Bukidnon on the island of Mindanao, Philippines. The 4th child in a family of 6 siblings, and his family's poverty was so severe that his father was forced to kill their pet dog for food. The island of Mindanao, where Pacquiao spent his earliest years, is the 2nd largest island in the Philippines and one of its poorest regions. While the capital city of Manila gleamed with wealth and opportunity, Mindanao was, and in many ways still is, a world apart. The poverty in rural Mindanao wasn't just economic, it was existential. Families didn't wonder how they would afford luxuries. They wondered if they would eat that day. His parents separated when he was in 6th grade after his father had an affair. His mother, Dionysia, was left to raise 6 children on her own. The separation wasn't just emotionally devastating. It was financially catastrophic. A single mother with 6 mouths to feed in one of the poorest regions of the Philippines had no government safety net to fall back on. No welfare system, no unemployment benefits. There was only survival. Manny sold bread on the streets, the kind of work children do when childhood itself is a luxury the family cannot afford. He collected scrap paper to sell by weight. He took any odd job that would pay even a few pesos. And when the choice came between continuing his education or helping his family survive, there was no choice at all. He dropped out of school in 6th grade due to extreme poverty. There was no safety net. There was no plan. There was survival, and that was it. At age 12, having abandoned any hope of formal education, he dropped out of school to pursue a career in boxing and moved in with his uncle Sardo Mejia in a 1-story home in the southern Philippine city of General Santos. Mejia, who had no formal training as a fighter, would go on to become the future star's first boxing trainer. The training was rudimentary. There was no state-of-the-art gym, no nutritionist, no sports psychologist. There was a makeshift ring, worn gloves, and a dream that seemed impossible from where they were standing. By 15, Pacquiao was regarded as one of the best junior boxers in the country and frequently competed in a public park in General Santos. The fights in the park were brutal, unregulated affairs where spectators bet on the outcomes and fighters earned whatever the crowd was willing to throw their way. It was here in these dusty public parks that Pacquiao learned what would become his signature style: relentless aggression, blinding hand speed, and a complete unwillingness to back down no matter how much punishment he absorbed. However, the teenager sought greater success than what General Santos could offer, so he stowed away on a ship bound for Manila. This wasn't a ticketed journey, with a plan and connections waiting on the other side. This was a desperate gamble by a 14-year-old boy who believed that Manila, the capital city where dreams either came true or died in the gutter, was his only shot at something better. When he arrived in the city, he slept on cardboard boxes. The cardboard wasn't metaphorical, it was literal. Streets became his bedroom. Doorways became his shelter. He sold donuts in the morning, hawking them to commuters and office workers for a few pesos per sale. He cleaned boxing gyms in exchange for permission to train there, scrubbing floors and washing equipment in order to survive, all while continuing to improve his skills and rise through the ranks. At the age of 14, Pacquiao moved to Manila and lived on the streets, worked as a construction worker, and had to pick between eating or sending money to his mother. Every peso he earned was a choice: feed himself today or let his mother eat tomorrow. Some days he chose his mother. Those were the days he went hungry. That is the world Manny Pacquiao came from. That is the foundation on which everything else was built. The following year, at just 16 years old, Pacquiao turned professional and made his official debut as a junior flyweight in 1995. His professional debut took place on January 22, 1995, when he faced Edmund Ignacio. Pacquiao won by decision, earning what by Western standards would be considered almost nothing, but by his own standards represented more money than he had ever held at one time. The path from there was neither smooth nor guaranteed. 3 years later, in 1998, he won the WBC flyweight title, his first major championship, defeating defending champion Chache Sassical. He was barely out of his teenage years and already a world champion. The win was a seismic event in the Philippines. Here was a kid from the slums, a school dropout who had slept on cardboard boxes, now holding a world title. The narrative was irresistible, but things moved fast, and success came with its own dangers. The hunger that had driven Pacquiao to the top also made him reckless. In 1996, still early in his professional career, he faced Rustico Torrecampo. Torrecampo, who only had 5 knockouts in his career, was not considered a serious threat, but he scored several significant strikes and knocked Pacquiao out 30 seconds into round 3. That was his first professional loss. For a fighter who had staked everything on boxing, who had no backup plan and no education to fall back on, a knockout loss was more than just a defeat. It was an existential threat. Most fighters would have crumbled. Pacquiao lifted himself back up after his first loss by going on a 15-fight win streak. Within this time frame, he also won the WBC flyweight title by defeating defending champion Chache Sassical. The win streak rebuilt his confidence and his reputation. Promoters started paying attention. The Filipino press started calling him a national treasure. And then came the second crushing knockout. Then came Medgone Singsurat. In 1999, Pacquiao took on Medgone Singsurat in his second defense at the age of 21. Singsurat held an unblemished 18-0 record and was the same age as Manny when he fought for his first world title. The fight was supposed to cement Pacquiao's status as a dominant flyweight champion. It did the opposite. Unfortunately for Pacquiao, he was once again knocked out in the cursed 3rd round, losing his world title within a year of claiming it despite enjoying domination in the opening rounds. The pattern was troubling. Pacquiao would start strong, overwhelm his opponent with speed and volume, and then in the 3rd round, something would go wrong. A single punch would change everything. He would hit the canvas, and the title would be gone. Most fighters would have been buried by 2 knockout losses before turning 22. Pacquiao was not most fighters. He rebuilt. He moved up in weight. And here's where the truly remarkable part of the Pacquiao story begins. Most boxers spend their entire careers in one weight class. Moving up even a single division is considered a major risk. Pacquiao would eventually conquer 8. He kept winning, and the world started paying attention. The wins piled up. The titles accumulated. The weight classes changed. But the results didn't. Over the course of an illustrious 25-year career, Pacquiao dominated his competition, rising to become an 8-weight world champion, a lineal champion in 5 separate weight classes, and the only boxer to hold world championships across 4 decades. By 2015, his 25 pay-per-view fights had generated more than $1 billion in revenue. Think about that number for a moment. $1 billion. From a kid who once had to choose between eating and sending money to his mother, the financial transformation was staggering, almost incomprehensible. Pacquiao has defeated 22 world champions, including Juan Manuel Marquez twice, David Diaz, Oscar de la Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, Joshua Clottey, Antonio Margarito, Shane Mosley, Brandon Rios, Timothy Bradley twice, Chris Algieri, Jesse Vargas, Lucas Mathis, Adrian Broner, and most recently Keith Thurman. Some of those names, De La Hoya, Hatton, Cotto, Mosley, were already legends when Pacquiao fought them. He didn't just beat them, he dismantled them. Pacquiao made history by being the first boxer ever to win world titles in 8 weight divisions, having won 12 major world titles. He was named one of Time's 100 most influential people for the year 2009 for his exploits in boxing and his influence among the Filipino people. The time recognition wasn't just about boxing. It was about what Pacquiao represented. Proof that even the most crushing poverty could be overcome. He became a national symbol. When he fought, crime in the Philippines stopped. This wasn't folklore or exaggeration. Police departments reported measurable drops in crime rates during Pacquiao fights. Streets emptied. Entire cities went silent except for the roar from television sets. The whole country held its breath. Criminals took the night off because even they wanted to watch Manny fight. And then, with the money pouring in and the fame reaching absurd heights, Manny Pacquiao started to destroy himself. The money hit Manny Pacquiao like a truck with no brakes. A series of successful matches turned Pacquiao into a wealthy athlete, party animal, gambler, and serial womanizer. The kid who once chose between eating and sending money to his mother was now drowning in excess. The transformation wasn't gradual. It was sudden, total, and destructive. There was a problem in our family because the fame goes to my head, Pacquiao admitted. I know how to gamble. I know how to drink. A lot of girls, things like that. It was not casual indulgence. It was a full-blown lifestyle overhaul. Manny gave himself over to the life of partying, drinking, gambling, and womanizing. The parties were legendary. The drinking was constant. The gambling became pathological, and the women were everywhere. Cockfighting consumed his free time. In the Philippines, cockfighting or sabong is a deeply rooted cultural tradition, but Pacquiao took it to an extreme. He owned thousands of roosters. He built elaborate facilities to house them. He would bet enormous sums on individual fights, sometimes losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single afternoon. The addiction wasn't about the money. He had more money than he could spend. It was about the rush, the thrill, the same adrenaline that drove him in the boxing ring. Nights at casinos consumed his earnings. Pacquiao would fly to Macau, Las Vegas, or Manila's own casinos and lose millions at the tables. Friends and associates described seeing him drop $100,000, $200,000, sometimes more in a single night. When you're earning tens of millions per fight, those losses seem manageable, but they added up. And the gambling wasn't limited to casinos and cockfighting. Pacquiao would bet on basketball games, on card games, on anything that offered action. Women who were not his wife consumed his attention. The affairs were not discreet. In some cases, they were barely hidden. Pacquiao has a child out of wedlock, and also, according to reports that his friends and associates confirmed, had an extramarital affair with an actress he met more than a decade ago. The actress was well known in the Philippines. The affair was an open secret within Pacquiao's inner circle. Pacquiao's indiscretions were not unknown to wife Jean Key, but it was Pacquiao's affair with the actress that almost broke his marriage. This was not tabloid gossip from unnamed sources.